Sean here, and welcome to Sean's Home Cooking. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Sean here, and I'm super excited that you're joining me for this episode today. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite steak recipes, whether you're cooking for just yourself or friends and family or a huge group of people. It's a super easy recipe to replicate. It's quick, it's fast. You get exactly the same result every time if you follow exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. And I'm super excited. So I hope you're hungry and ready to grab a bite to eat. Let's get into it. All right, guys, today here's our cut of choice. It's going to be a beef top sirloin, just a nice cut of steak. I actually purchased in a pack at one of your big stores like a Costco or Sam's Club. I get a couple of these. I take one out, I freeze it. It makes a really nice, easy dinner if you can just pop it in, the fridge in the morning or the day before. Kind of let it unthaw, but this one is actually fresh. I just picked this up this morning. So it's a pretty nice cut of meat. You can see a little bit of marbling there. I'm not even sure on the number of ounces here, but nice cut. So here's our ingredients today that we've got lined up. So first things first, I always like to start off with the wet ingredients and then move to the dry ingredients. And what we're going to do is, since this just came out of the fridge, it's still pretty cold. We're going to kind of let it sit. It's about 4:30. I like to eat around 5:15. So what we'll do is we'll let it sit for about 30 minutes with all the seasonings and stuff, kind of let it get to a room temperature, and that way it'll cook just perfectly for us. So I hope you guys are in for a good one. We'll go ahead and start seasoning it up. Here we go. So a little pro tip for you guys. When I'm applying, sauces or anything wet to my meat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it in kind of a bowl on the side. I've got a nice little, I don't even know what this is called, but we can go and we can brush it on the meat. So what we'll do is we'll start with our olive oil. And I'm just going by eye here because I've done this a few times. We'll do a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We'll grab our sauce. This really gives us a nice flavor here. And we're just going to kind of dunk a little bit in there. About a tablespoon. And we'll go a little bit of soy sauce, just a little bit here. Just because we don't need much since we're adding salt. So just a little bit, about a teaspoon. And now that's all our wet sauce. What we'll do is we will mix this up nice and good. Blend it in with the oil there. And then what we'll do is we'll come across and we'll liberally put this on. We'll get the sides here. A lot of people forget the sides. They just do the front and the back. And when you get these corner pieces right here, when you get these cuts or when you get these edge cuts on any of the edges here, it really makes a big difference if that side is nice and cooked, nice and seasoned. Oh, man, it makes a big difference. So what we do is we add our first ingredients here, which is the wet ingredients. Then what we'll do is we'll come in with our dry ingredients. So I've got pepper. We'll just sprinkle this on. I like a lot of pepper on my steaks. I like a little bit of that pepper heat. We'll give just a touch of salt, just a touch. And then we'll bring in one of my favorites, the Weber Steak and Chop. And I go pretty liberal with this because when we cook, a lot of this is going to fall off. And I also want to put just a little bit on the pan here. That way, when I pick this steak up to flip it, see I can hit the sides. That's what we want to do, is we really want to get every part of this steak nice and seasoned. Look at that. Just like anything, it's all in the preparation. Okay, so now we'll flip that over. I'll wash my hand. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back. We've got our mixture here. We'll mix it up so we get nice and even consistency. We'll come back to the top. I'm even gonna get those edges just one more time. Get a little bit extra because this is what really gives us that flavor, and we'll kind of sit and marinate on that meat. Okay, again, we'll go a little bit of pepper. A tiny bit of salt. Then we'll come back in with our Weber steak and chop. Nice liberal seasoning there. Close that up, and then I'm gonna get our sides one more time just to make sure they got it all really good. All right, now this is gonna be a really good cut of meat. Okay, so now we've got kind of this paste on top, and that is gonna sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes here. We're gonna fire up the grill in about 10 minutes, start getting it preheated, and we'll see you guys in the cooking. All right, guys, grill is on. We've turned high on all our burners. We'll heat this up to about 700 degrees, give it a nice clean scrub down, and then we'll cool her down just a little bit to around 550 and throw our steak on. Should cook pretty quickly. All right, guys, we've got a really nice hot grill now. We've got our steak. You can see it's just been kind of just chilling in those juices. So we'll go ahead and pick it up now. And one more time again, I'll just make sure that side is nice and seasoned on there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and place it right on the center. And basically now, I'm thinking this will take probably 8 minutes to cook at about 550 degrees. So what we'll do is we will leave that, and we'll come back in about 4 minutes here and give it a nice flip, and we'll leave it, and then at that point towards the end we'll grill up these sides, get a nice little char on them, and at that point we can eat. So we'll go ahead and close this for the time being. Let that temperature climb up. Now, while you're waiting for your steak to cook, one of the things I like to do is I like to take this tin foil that was on my pan and bring it over to my trash can, get rid of it, and apply a new piece of tin foil. That way we can have a nice clean spot to put our steak on once it's finished from the grill out there. So we'll set that to the side. One of my favorite things to have with a steak is a nice steak frites on the side, and to accomplish that, really all you need is some frozen French fries. You can make them yourself, however, kind of difficult, but I prefer the frozen ones. We would take our air fryer here. I prefer not to pan fry them, and basically our air fryer would go in. We would put it up to about 380 degrees and cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes. They come out perfect as long as you turn them a few times every now and then. So that's a fantastic side that you could have with the steak, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll go ahead and prepare those pommes frites. All right, right here I've got our pommes frites. I really prefer these kind, frozen kind. They're like fast food. I think they're the best. I've got just enough to finish off one round, so I'll kind of spread them out there in the pan a little bit, make sure that sits flush, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick them in and turn this on to, let's see, do 11 minutes, 380 degrees, start. That way, right as our steak finishes in about 5 to 6, 7 minutes, what we can do is we can have these pommes frites waiting ready for us, nice and hot. Pull them out, season them up, throw it all on a plate. It'll look spectacular, and we'll be eating in no time. All right, guys, we're back out here at the grill. We've got a nice piece of steak here. Looks like it's coming good. We're just gonna make sure we hit those sides nice and good. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So now what we'll do is bring it back to our plate here. We will turn off this grill and head inside and check those pommes frites. All right, guys, as that steak rests, I can tell that's going to be perfect temperature, almost medium low, I think. And our pommes frites have literally a minute left. We'll wait another 30 seconds here, but I'm going to assume and guess they're probably done. Oh yeah, they're perfect. So we've got our pommes frites. We'll go ahead and plate both of these items up. We'll show you the end result.
Seeing eyes of mine. What do you feel?
Thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you next time. Happy eats.
Gonna fly like you did sometimes. Seeing